क्या आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेनड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें StudyIQ.com।
A very good morning to all my dear friends. I hope you all are doing good. I am Prashant Mavani. Let's have a positive start. Buddha says it is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. When he talks about this mind, he is talking about a mind that is constantly creating or generating negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative feelings, and you can say negative belief system. With this, dear friends, we have these two articles here. This one is about Pakistan, and this one again is about political situation of Pakistan. We are aware about this thing. We have talked about this particular item in detail a couple of days ago, so I believe most of you are regular students and most of you are aware about this election campaigns that were going on in Pakistan. They are termed as dirtiest election. This election, in fact, and the campaigns, in fact, is termed as dirtiest in the history of Pakistan, because so many people have lost their lives. Somewhere 150 people lost their lives in this Baluchistan area. Many leaders have been killed as well. It was an election for both this central level as well as provincial, or you can say state level. 4 states were in election mode. And if I give you latest news, the most latest one, the most recent one that I came across last night, and Election Commission of Pakistan has said that there has been a problem with this electronic counting system of votes. So they are going ahead, they are counting this votes manually, so it is of course going to take a bit of time. There are opposition leaders. When I say opposition, I mean to say small parties over there. There are some small parties. They are saying that these big parties and some hooligan strong parties and hooligan or chows are basically harassing them. They are being kicked out from this vote counting sessions, and so this sort of reports are also coming out. It is very sad that this electronic system is down. It is also said that Imran Khan is going to be the next prime minister, and we are going to talk about it because this article is about Prime Minister Imran Khan. Let me tell you one more thing, that so far as we are speaking now, we don't have results yet, but there are high chances that he is going to be the next Prime Minister. Now, when we are talking about this dirtiest in its history, dirtiest election and campaign in the history of Pakistan, because it is termed dirtiest because this rigging and military interference, we have talked about it. So I'm just going to remind you guys that you have the a thing or organization called the establishment that comprises Army of Pakistan as well as ISI, that is Inter-Service Intelligence. Now, the most horrendous thing that we find here in Pakistan is that this establishment has worked as a friend, or you can say there is a bridge of friendship between this judiciary, Supreme Court of Pakistan, and this establishment. Together they have tricked Nawaz Sharif. They have rejected, or they have removed Nawaz Sharif. First of all, one thing that I would like to highlight here is that I'm not trying to save Nawaz Sharif here, but the process was not a proper one. Corruption charges, if you are alleging corruption charges against Prime Minister of your country, then you cannot remove that person just on the basis of these charges, right? Just based on an allegation, you cannot remove your Prime Minister. Without conviction, if the court is removing Prime Minister, then something is cooking, something is going on behind the doors. So this was a very dark phase of Pakistan. Apart from that, the way he's being treated now, he's not treated like other political leaders and other political prisoners. He's not provided with newspapers, he's not provided other basic facilities. He's not allowed to meet his advocates. So all these things are going on at the same time. If we talk about current situation, then we find that Prime Minister, whoever will be the Prime Minister of Pakistan, we will come to know about it in a short while from now. But the big job that is there to be executed by new Prime Minister, it is sorting out relationship or negotiating with International Monetary Fund and to stave off this balance of payments crisis. Now let me throw some light on this balance of payments crisis. How it works is that I'm sure many of you are aware about this thing. So this is BOPS or BOP, balance of payments. You have capital. I'm just going to use a very layman's language here. I'm going to give you a hypothetical example with the help of which you can understand what or how this thing works. So you have a book or capital account, and then you have current account over here. Just imagine that you are a country called XYZ. Now if you are exporting an item worth say for example at the start of the day you have 10 rupees in your pocket, right? That is your capital. Now today you have sold items worth 2 rupees. So how it works with the BOP or international trade is that when you get this 2 rupee by exporting something, this will be balanced here. It will be added here. So now your capital is 12 rupee, isn't it? And you have imported items worth 3 rupees. So again, things will be balanced here. So now you were having 12 rupees, but now you have purchased item of 3 rupees. So at the end of the day, you will have 9 rupees. So you can say that there is a shortage of 1 rupee in your capital. Now imagine a situation where your capital is getting closer to zero. Your imports are becoming bigger and bigger, and your exports are falling down. So it will create this severe balance of payments crisis. Then you have to borrow money from some other country or institutions like IMF. They will charge you interest, so you have to pay interest and all these things. So it is going to be, it's a very dangerous thing, and it's also a big debt trap. We have another good example of debt trap. It is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, right? It was supposed to bring good days for Pakistan, but now we find so many reports indicating that it is tilted in favor of China rather than Pakistan. One thing about Mr. Khan is that he is also termed as or referred as Taliban Khan because he was advocating Taliban group or this militants. He said that in his election campaign, and this is something it could be. There could be many reasons behind it to make sure that there is a smile on this Talibani people's face. So this could be one of his trick that he has said or asked the USA to say his words are not going to be taken seriously. If you are in election campaign, of course, it will be noted down, but you are not Prime Minister yet. After becoming Prime Minister, if you are issuing this sort of statements, then this is going to be altogether different thing. So he suggested that USA must first pull out its troops from Afghanistan, and he said that these militants are fighting for their independence. There is nothing wrong about it and things like that. He has also indicated that he is ready to resolve disputes with India, and this is a good sign. We should take this statement a bit seriously. There is a ray of hope here that we can sort out our relationship with Pakistan, because as I told you, Pakistan is our neighboring country. We cannot change our neighbors. Keep this thing in mind. And he will also have to deal with this militants. You have variety of big spectrum of militants you have there, right? Terror groups with different ideologies and different backgrounds and things like that. So there are terror groups who are targeting Pakistani forces. So they should be controlled or eliminated at the same time. They are also targeting different neighbors, includes India, of course, Afghanistan, and we talk about extended neighbor, then you have Bangladesh and other countries as well. Now, this article, Prime Minister Imran Khan, I'm so glad that we have talked about all these important items earlier on, right? So far, if I give you gist of this article and latest items, new items, then the news items are, or news, you find this front page news in today's The Hindu. You find that it is claiming that 122 out of 272 seats, 122 seats are in favor of Imran Khan. So the victory is going to be a bit huge and impressive. As I told you, that counting is still on, so we have to wait a little bit for the proper result to come out. One more thing, as we all are aware, because we have discussed about this thing, that media was controlled as well and censored as well. Many journalists and media houses were threatened and shut down as well. Imran Khan's campaign was very aggressive. He has used soft words, good words, bad words, and harsh words. So he has tried everything, every trick in the book. He has tried. He was everywhere on social media, on various different platforms. A very interesting item is highlighted in this article here, right? This article talks about a very interesting thing, and this interesting thing is this marriage of Imran Khan with this lady here. Her name is Bushra Riaz Vattu. This lady, she has claimed that she saw a dream, and in her dream Prophet Muhammad appeared in her dream, and Prophet Muhammad told this lady that Imran Khan is going to be the next prime minister, and during his reign Pakistan is going to see a new sunrise. So this was said, and he has married her. He considers as her as a spiritual guru, if I can use this word. She is called Pirani, right? We are familiar with this word Pir, so the female word is Pirani. So this is a thing that is reported here, so it was a bit out of the box, so I thought let me share it with you guys. Now enough has been said about Pakistan. Now let's move on to this article here. It is about tackling HIV. Now there is a joint program of United Nations, and I would like to draw your attention to the full form of this program. It is called Joint United Nations Program on HIV AIDS. Short form is UNAIDS. Pay attention to this item here. You can see that UNICEF, UNDP, UNFPA, UNDCP, UNESCO, WHO, World Bank, all these different branches and different organizations, they are working together under this UNAIDS program. Of course, you can understand it is about eliminating and creating awareness and helping all those people who are suffering from HIV. If we go through the figures of this particular report that is recently released by this UNAIDS, we find that between 2010 and 2017, several countries made rapid progress in reducing HIV incidence and getting antiretroviral therapy. Antiretroviral therapy is this item here is important for MCQ, for your MCQ after a couple of months or next year 2019, when you will appear in UPSCs, or this year as well you may appear in different competitive exams. I got a question as well in comment section. Someone from you asked me, I think it was in English version or Hindi version, not sure, but do pass this message. It would be very kind of you if you inform students that this Hindu analysis is not just limited to students preparing for civil services examination. If you ask me personally, then I would say that yes, if you are preparing for civil services examination, that it is very important for you. But if you are preparing for other competitive exams, then you will find that you will find every single day, first of all, a detailed analysis is provided to you, so it will boost up your capacity. That's what our endeavor is here. The other thing is this will help you with many items, like say for example this one, UNAIDS. So this is an item for your MCQ. Again here, if you go through this antiretroviral therapy, how it works, see, it reduces the amount of HIV in the body. It protects the immune system, prevents HIV from advancing to AIDS, and reduces the risk of HIV transmission. One important point that I would like to highlight here is this one, that ART, that is this antiretroviral therapy, saves lives but does not cure HIV. So a good thing about this thing is that at least you can live a reasonably good life compared to a situation where you don't have access to medicine, or even you are not aware about aware yourself about your HIV disease. The good thing about this antiretroviral therapy is that earlier on, people or these patients they would have to take so many medicines, throughout the day, but now it is one, maximum two, if I'm not wrong, but you have one pill, you take one pill a day, and off you go. Things will be all right with you. There are other good items coming from, or good news coming from this report, and the thing is that Eastern Africa and Africa, this portion here is doing quite well. A largest reduction as far as this drop in cases of HIV has been observed in this part. As far as our country is concerned, India, which is most important thing for us to understand, between 2010 and 2017 we have seen a drop. As far as this new cases are concerned, there is 27% drop, and as far as this deaths are concerned, 56% drop has been observed between this period here, which is not bad. Tuberculosis, we have biggest population affected by this TB in our country. If you see the world and our country, then we find the biggest number, means we find these TB patients are living in our country. So TB is the biggest killer of HIV patients across the world. So this is one of the reasons why we are struggling, or we are having this incline climb. India is now able to treat over 90% of notified TB patients for HIV. This is a positive point. Social stigma surrounding AIDS infected people in India, it's high, but it's declining as well. People are a bit more aware about HIV. We are educated enough, or we are informed enough as far as this HIV or AIDS is concerned. We know that it will not spread just by touching that person, or if you are near that person, you will not get affected by AIDS. So all these myths and wrong information that used to be there is no more in our. So I'm not saying it's no more, but it's declining, which is a good sign. With 2.1 million cases, the big problem for us, or a big challenge, is that we have 2.1 million. We are talking about what, 20 lakh or 21 lakh people are affected by this disease, and there are so many out there who are not aware about their disease. They are not detected. So the actual number can be more, but official figure is 2.1, which makes us the biggest or the largest burden in the world is on our country. So there are many things that we have to achieve. We have to change these rules as well. Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, which criminalizes several aspects of sex work, and we have section 377 of IPC that criminalizes gay sex. So what happens is that because of the nature of people who are associated with this sex work or prostitution, they are the ones who will be highly exposed to, or they are vulnerable as far as this disease is concerned, and they can become a source of tipping point of this disease as well, because of multiple partners, you can say, or clients. So it is very important that rather than seeing them as criminals, we should care about them. When I say we should care about them, we need to get rid of this sort of laws through which police and other people are, people in authorities, they are harassing these people or criminalizing them. Rather than that, we should support them and educate them that what are the things that they should do so that they don't become a victim of this HIV as well as a tipping point for spreading this HIV. So we need to work on this thing, and a right to health is universal. So We have promised this thing under this sustainable development goals. At the same time, we have to implement it, and we have to make sure that no one should be left behind in the fight against HIV. Now, the next item that I have for you is pertaining to artificial intelligence. AI superpower or client nation. Remember, Niti Aayog proposed this thing. Niti Aayog said that India will become a big hub for artificial intelligence. The claim of Niti Aayog is that 40% of artificial intelligence work or things associated with it will be seen in our country. We will be a hub, or you can say a sort of important player in this artificial intelligence. Now, what artificial intelligence is all about? Again, I'm going to use a very layman's language here. It's a computer or it's a machine, right, that can learn things just like human beings. It can learn, it can take, once it learns something, then it can use that learning experience, and based on that experience it can take a new decision. So it will be an ongoing learning thing, just like our human brain. Human brain is the most advanced, so far we know in this world. Human brain is the most advanced thing on this planet, right? So artificial intelligence is creating a machine that can work just like our brain, just like our mind, you can say. So this is what people are trying to achieve here. We, with the help of this artificial intelligence, we are seeing a future that will transform our economic life, social life, and political life as well. Google's CEO has compared artificial intelligence with fire and electricity. The important role that fire played in development of our civilization. It protected us from these leopards and other animals. It helped us cook meat and other items. These are some of the common things, but I strongly believe that it is time that was given by this light that we invented. This light that we can carry, or we used to carry in our caves. With the help of this thing, I think people have started drawing this paintings and other things, murals on this cave walls. It gave extra time so that in dark hours as well, people can think about, they can do a bit of work. So it gave us this extra time. This is my own personal observation. Electricity is very basic, very important. Without electricity, this conversation is not possible. So for development, it is very important that every household, everyone has access to electricity. And we know the role of electricity, how important role it plays. So now they are comparing this AI with fire and electricity. And now the thing with artificial intelligence is that because, as I told you, that it is an ever learning thing, it will keep on learning, it will keep on analyzing data, and based on that data it will learn something new. Based on that learning it will learn something. So it's a sort of chain reaction sort of thing. And once a particular country will have a mastery over this AI, there are high chances that wealth will go to that country. It will be concentrated in the hands of few people, and they will be the next rulers of the world. AI does not develop in laboratories. This is a big difference that you have to understand. Other items, we develop them in lab, then we introduce them in the market, and that's how we use them. But here, AI is a bit different. Things that are going on in market are observed by this AI, and this AI will learn things from all those practical things that are going on. Now, data is a very important thing. Without data, you cannot create, or what you are going to feed to this AI system. So for that, you need proper data. Now, there are companies out there like you have Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, USA's company. They are working or collecting data. They are operational in different parts of the world, so they have access to this important data. You have Chinese company as well, like Alibaba, Tencent, and Baidu. They are also spreading their wings in different parts of the world, so they are having access to huge amount of data. And based on this data, they can analyze consumer behavior, and based on this thing, they can feed it in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will tell them what is best things that is important for or required by the people of different countries. And this way, this companies can increase their sales, and they will become bigger and bigger. Because they can target exactly what is required by people. Now, in our country, we used to have this Flipkart and other companies, but now they are taken over by Walmart as well. There are companies like Amazon and Google. They are providing this platform on which other artificial intelligence projects can work. So at the end of the day, they are becoming bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. And we are losing advantage. Mr. Putin has also said this thing that if a country will have expertise in this AI, then that country will become the next boss of the world. I'll give you a small example of electronic vehicles. You know that we rely on 80% of our fuel is sourced from different countries. So we are heavily dependent on countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and nowadays we are also diversifying our supply, so USA and other countries. Now, if there is anything going wrong in those countries, then as well it will have direct impact on us. We have a good amount of solar light reception. Solar light reception is reasonably good in our country. After Saudi Arabia, we rank number 2. So if we have electronic vehicles, if renewable energy can become a source for this vehicle, then, and if we develop a technology, battery, this new charging station, new methods, and if we can have copyright, and if we just enjoy this copyright for few years, right? If we can have this monopoly for few years, then this will change the face of our country. Development like cars and other things took place in Western world, and you can see here that even today they are dominating. So we have this opportunity. If we can do something about electronic vehicles, then we can conquer. I'm not saying that we want to bully other countries, but we can conquer the market. We can get rid of this poverty and other things in a very short period of time, because without money you cannot do anything. Same thing applies with artificial intelligence as well. We are lagging behind it. If Niti Aayog is saying that we are doing very good and we will become 40% or a big hub for artificial intelligence, then we are wrong, because if you go through the figures of professors and scientists working in this project AIs, then you will find that there are very few, right? Not even 100 scientists we have who are predominantly working on this AI, and there are countries out there, there are so many people working on this thing. So we cannot be, it is going to be a mythical thing if we are considering that in next few years we are going to be a big hub. But yes, we do have potential. We have talented youngsters, we have youngsters with entrepreneurial, managerial, as well as they have IT skills. You can check the world, you will find most of people working in big companies, you will find Indians are working there. I'm not saying they're all Indians, but Indians are there. This indicates that we have this potential. So we need to use it, and I'm sure when India will use it for betterment of whole world. So it's going to be, at present we are more like a client nation, but we have this potential to become artificial intelligence superpower. Now we have these 2 articles here. This one is about keeping the past alive. Now keeping the past alive is about USA. There is a new museum has been opened in this Alabama. The capital of this Alabama is given here, where you find a new museum, and Alabama River is also given here. So the mouth of this river is in Gulf of Mexico. So just keep this thing in mind. And this museum is about slavery and dark ages of slavery and lynching and other things that used to take place in the society of USA. This one is about Right to Information Act, good, bad, or complicated. Now this item here, we have talked about good things. When I say good, I mean to say all those negative items regarding this amendment that government is trying to introduce. We have talked about it. Nice, right? So this amendment that government wants to do with the tenure, salary and other things are not that, they are going to be not that healthy because they will snatch away powers from CIC. But there are people who are saying that section 13 subsection 5 of this act It's just all they want to change is this salary. They are not going to take away powers from CIC. And their second argument is that that the role of EC and Election Commission and Central State Information Commissions are a bit different. So they have to, they cannot be, you cannot keep them on a same platform. Their service conditions and other thing. And there is a middle way suggested by one person here. He says that RTI cannot provide informations that are not available with RTI or the government. So government needs to work on the supply side. The other thing is there are numerous applications, fake applications, as well as single applicant filing, a request for same subject matter. So this sort of, you can say, some sort of flaws as far as this claiming information is concerned needs to be sorted out. Now, our nation paid homage to these martyrs of Kargil war. Salute to all those brave shaheeds and soldiers on this occasion of Vijay Divas. West Bengal renames itself as Bangla, and I would like to draw your attention to this word here, Home Ministry. Why Home Ministry? Why she said that she had personally taken up the issue with Home Ministry? What Home Ministry has to do with name of a state? Do let me know about it. And you have these two gentlemen here. This person here, his name is Sonam Wangchuk. He is, I'm sure you have seen this movie called Three Idiots. And in Three Idiots, you have this Rancho. So he is real life Rancho. He is educational reformer from Ladakh. And this gentleman here, his name is Bharat Vatwani, a psychiatrist who works for mentally ill street people in Mumbai. They have been bestowed with this Ramon Magsaysay Award. This is considered as Asia's Nobel Award. Lok Sabha passes anti-trafficking bill. The bill lays down a stringent punishment of 10 years to life imprisonment for aggravated forms of trafficking, which include buying and selling of persons for purpose of bonded labor, bearing a child, as well as those where criminal substances are administered and survivors acquires life-threatening illnesses such as AIDS. US and European Union together, they have agreed to ease this trade tensions, which is a good sign for the whole world. USA won't impose tariffs on automobiles, and EU commits to buy US soybeans and natural gas. Supreme Court is not happy with Uttar Pradesh government for not working without consulting this Archaeological Survey of India. It is not consulting it, and because ASI is tasked with protecting this monument. I have got a jet fact for you guys. You see here there are total 389 mega infrastructure projects, and out of that 59, they have, because of this delay, they have their cost has gone up, and this is not a small amount. 1,36,790.58 crore is the new price. So this indicates lethargy as well as a lack of decision making, and not taking timely decisions can cost us. It can hit us really badly. These are your answers here. I asked you this question on this country here. These are your answers, and it was in news because of this dam that collapsed in this country. Now today I have got a bit tough question for you. Can you identify this country, this island nation that you find in Asia, right? What is the name of this nation, and tell me why it was in news. With this I have got two MCQs for you. That's everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.